So, we are back on track. How do you feel? Kind of bit better. Yeah. I hear some fans in the background. Cool.
It's great. Welcome to TechChill.
Woo! He's doing much better than I do. No one gave applause for me.
Yeah, but you warmed him up. So while Andris and I are relaxing here, because our slogan is "Chill out to the best in tech" at TechChill Baltics, we want to make some short introductions and sort of explain very briefly sort of why we're here, how we got here, because we're also aware that some of the people here maybe weren't here last year and maybe are not quite aware of all the background. So this show is organized by Tech Hub Riga. And for those of you who don't know, today it's our 2-year birthday.
Yeah!
So tonight, you're all invited. You have tickets for the party, and we're going to have a rockin' party right here.
Beer.
Beer, yes. But we're 2 years old today, and we are a non-profit foundation here in Latvia, run by an all-volunteer board, and our goal is to help the startup ecosystem in Latvia and help startups succeed here. And so it's a great opportunity for us to take a very short amount of time and reflect on 2 years. So we started with this, an empty space. Having started Open Coffee Club for a few years, we moved to our own space, but it was empty. So in the last 2 years, this has happened. So it's filling up, lots of happy people working, creating the new startups that will succeed from here. And now it's really full. So we have about 75 residents, more Flex members who come and go. And we're trying to help make these teams successful, and we're very proud of what's happened in just the last 2 years, which is a very short time in startup. So I was in a startup for 9 years, and actually 14 years before it exited, so I know that 2 years is a short time. But in those 2 years, lots of exciting things have happened. So we also have been running a lot of events. So the place fills up regularly, and I hope a lot of you, if you haven't been, come every second Thursday of the month, Tech Hub Meetup. This is the one we're missing because we have today's event. So we have, all sorts of really good things, but we have a secret weapon for making these successful.
Beer.
Beer.
Woo! You like beer, eh?
And it means that, we're not handing out beer quite at this hour of the morning, but it means in the evening, people relax a bit, they talk, and actually they make friends, they have a chat about the latest updates to Facebook APIs and all sorts of other fun things that you want to know about. So I'm going to hand over to Ernests for a quick review of some of the startups.
So yeah, we are pretty much growing. As Andris mentioned, we were, when Tech Hub started, we were just a bunch of teams coming in with no outside financing, doing our own things, small teams. And now we are, most of the big chunk of our teams now have attracted some outside financing, growing, some of them growing really big. Infogram, I'm looking at you. We also, we see that we are entering now in growth stage. Companies like Cobook, for example, have done already an exit, which is our first exit. So let's give applause for the Cobook. We have Selfie, who are doing pretty well. I always ask Maris about the color of the numbers, and he always says it's green. So green is good in startups. They are still searching for hockey stick. It's somewhere around. Faster, there's others somewhere around. They have done amazing pivot from application where you learn to read fast, to the book marketplace, and it's amazing what they have done. And of course we have Infogram and Andris, and they have an announcement today. Welcome Andris on stage.
Hey, hello. So 2 years ago, I was in a little smaller stage, as the event has grown, but on this very same event. And I'm very pleased to say now that Infogram is today officially a 2-year-old company. We started with 3-people team here in Riga. We're still here in Riga. We have no plans to moving out. But we have really great plans for the future. And I'm also happy to announce today that we have closed the largest startup financing round in Latvian history as far as it's publicly known. It's 1.34 million euros from so it comes from really cool guys, the Point 9 Capital and Connect Ventures, as well as our original investor, Hack Forward. What we're going to do is that we're expanding our team. We're hiring super talented developers. We're building a sales team. We're also opening our office in New York or San Francisco. We're still discussing that one, but we're hiring people in America. We're also announcing a new product update today. So from now on, you can make real-time infographics with real-time data. It's free trial for everyone for 30 days. It's going to be part of the Pro package. So thank you, everyone, for the great support. And thanks so much, TechHub, which has been our home for the last 2 years. And we're super excited to see great things for TechHub ahead as well. Thanks, Andris. Ernest?
Yeah, thank you, Ulis. We are really proud of Infogram. The other cool thing about Latvian startup scene is that a couple years ago, TechHub was the lone rider in the market of startup co-working spaces. And now we see new initiatives coming up like Startup Latvia and Igloo. And for example, Startup Latvia now are organizing really cool trips to Silicon Valley, and now it's on a regular basis. So let's give applause for the rest of the community.
But it's not just about Latvia. So this is TechChill Baltics, and fortunately, when I can put on this slide, there's no longer enough room for all the logos. So there's some really, really exciting things happening in Estonia and Lithuania. And this is just a smattering of examples. More exits, more fundraising. I think more, certainly in Estonia, a lot more than in Latvia, and we're hoping to catch up. But we have good collaboration, and we're happy to see there are some pan-Baltic teams, and there are some real success stories. You're going to hear later on from Erpli. You're going to hear from TransferWise, two Estonian teams that are doing really well, attracted some really great funding, and are really scaling up for global growth. So these should be examples for what you can do, what you can achieve, and what we should all aspire to. So we're very proud of the Estonian Mafia, the Lithuanian successes. Just last week there was news that Vinted has raised the largest funding round in the Baltics, or highest valued, and it was so it's some really great news here. There are also hardware initiatives. So Garage 48 just had a hardware hackathon. Well, Garage 48.
Yeah.
And I know there are some people in the crowd that were there. I heard it was fantastic. There's a Build It hardware accelerator in Estonia, so it's not just software. So things are really, really growing fast. But of course, being Baltic, we have competition between the three countries, and of course, the Latvians have a secret weapon, which is our luge riders, first bronze medal. So I'm going to stick it to all the Estonians and Lithuanians here. We got the first medal in the Olympics. But you can all buy me a beer afterwards. So anyway, on to TechChill.
So this year we have two great general sponsors, and one is PayPal. So, and particularly they started a blueprint program, and you will hear later about that. And
Well,
there's
the video should run now. Should we run the video?
My name is Carlos Espinal. I'm one of the two managing partners of SeedCamp. What we did is we created this organization where it met once a year, and it would provide $50,000 in capital to very, very early stage startups to give it a shot, to take their idea to the next level. And since then, we've been doing that, and we're now 104 companies growing strong. One of our companies, TransferWise, allows people to move currency from euros to pounds or from pounds to dollars. And the movement of cash and payments is actually something that is due for disruption. And it's great to hear that PayPal is helping a lot of startups in the process of facilitating payments. The most important attribute in a startup that makes it successful is its team, their ambition, their energy, and their drive.
500 Startups is a venture capital firm. We're based in Silicon Valley, but we have more than 600 portfolio companies all around the world. We are a seed fund. We're an accelerator program as well. And we have a massive community of startups and developers all around the world because we do conferences and events that connect them. Partnering with PayPal is important to us because we are on the edge of innovation, and they are too. They've made a lot of acquisitions recently and are always staying on top of what's happening in the market and how they need to iterate on their product. So it's very much a startup mentality, and that is incredibly important when you're working with startups. But at the end of the day, we're really looking for that passion for someone that's going to take an idea and bring it through to a product and then turn that into an actual business. It sounds easy, it's incredibly difficult, and you have to be an athlete.
Elevator is a vertically focused investment vehicle. We invest in 3 verticals: cybersecurity, e-commerce and media, and fintech. Very excited about the fintech companies and the fintech industry in general. We think this is one of the industries that has yet been disrupted and have a lot of potential to be disrupted. We think it's an industry that consists with a lot of middlemen, and we believe that innovation and startups, one of their biggest parts is basically kill the middleman. So we feel there's a lot of value and a lot of new kind of initiative and innovation that should be coming from this sort of direction, and we're very excited to take place in doing that in Israel and globally. Our mentors and advisors are excited about finding the next big thing, to partner with the next promising entrepreneurs. They remember how they were before they made it or find their way to success, and feel and know that help is something that every entrepreneur needs. So it comes from a place of, sort of a community service of what they got when they first started, and also from a place they're looking and they know that this is a place where they will find their next project or the next big thing that they will be involved in.
So yeah, let's give applause for PayPal and Blueprint program. And our second sponsor is LGA, Latvian Guarantee Agency, and that's very own Latvian institution. And we are really, really proud of them. They not only sponsored this event, but they also they sponsor our regular meetups. They give money for beer. It's really, really important. Again, it's a beer, it's chill. And besides beer, they also have a program for the early stage startups in a form of soft loan. They do it together with the Imprimatur Capital, and it's a pretty nice 50K addition for the small startups. And I guess this is the point where you have to go really roaring. Yeah! So LGA also have small video.
Well, hello there. You guessed it. I'm cutting a cucumber with one hand because the other hand is way too valuable. Not everybody's blessed with a great idea in their lifetime, but I sure was. In fact, I was born with one, and it's awesome. But even I needed help for the whole world to admire it. That's when I heard about the LGA, also known as Latvijas Guarantee Aģentūra. They have a boatload of cool funds to help people with fresh new ideas. When they saw mine, they kind of looked at me like, woo! So I guess they were amazed. Like always, things are going my way. Perhaps it's time for me to show you what I'm talking about. Beautiful, isn't it? I love all my fingers. But this one's special. This is my great idea. Do you know why it's so great? Because sometimes I can make people laugh just by showing it to them. It's also really great at pointing out important stuff. The guys at LGA said, you don't need big money for your idea. How about we film you pointing out our funds and make your finger famous? Sounded like a win-win situation, so here we go. This fund provides cool strategies to free your trapped ideas. And this one launches your startup to the next level fast. And this one's all about taking risks. LGA also has a growing business angels network. So as you can see, they have everything you need to make your ideas become reality. Show them what you got.
Wow! That was one really awesome video, wasn't it? So these were the gold sponsors. And also, we have silver sponsors. Microsoft. Microsoft are really active recently in the startup scene here in Latvia. We are really proud of them. And SmartCap.
So, that's it for introductions, and you guys are all dying to hear the first speaker. So, the first speaker, Colette Ballou. Let me give a quick introduction. Colette is a wonderful friend of ours and agreed a while back to come to Riga. And she's the founder of Ballou PR, a European PR firm focusing on high-tech growth companies. She's had a string of successes with them, including the entry of Facebook into France, entry of Eventbrite into Europe. And previously, she was VP at Edelman PR in the Valley in San Francisco. She has a lot of experience, but she has an interesting background. She also has a master's degree in ethics and philosophy. And so I think that must inform your PR work, and it's very nice to know that we have an ethical PR person in the world, Colette. So she is, after all, a gal from Brooklyn, as she introduced herself to me a while back, and we're very happy to have this gal from Brooklyn here in Riga. Give a big hand to Colette.